Hi Zayden, this is a review of your lesson from April 23rd, 2021. Great job today. We reviewed the scale, as you probably remember, and we also reviewed transitions from D, right, to the high hand notes, okay? And this is what we wrote on the bottom of your the paper. We call it the cheat sheet, the one with the finger holes, yeah? But I want you to, first, let's try a scale together. And the purpose of this is to help you control the pace at which you play the scale. It doesn't have to be fast, but you also don't want to take a lot of breaks, okay? We're going to go from high A, right, the high note of the chanter, down, all right? I want you to follow along. If you need to take a breath, obviously take a breath. If this is too fast, you can slow down the playback speed of the video. So here's a scale starting on high A. If you got down to that low G and your pinky finger couldn't make it to the hole, that's one of those situations where you need to play further up on your fingers. We talked about that at the end of the lesson, right? And you can also look at the angle that your low hand makes with the chanter. Speaking of that, remember that the right hand is the hand that's on the low notes, just to make sure. Let's do another scale from high A. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, once you've done several of those, you can either play it with me or just pause the video and do them on your own. Maybe do 2 or 3 of them, yeah? Then let's go ahead and shift down to the lower part of the page where we have the transitions from D to E, D to F, D to high G, and D to high A. And on your page, I wrote 2 times. So here's the first one. D to E looks like this. I'll do a side view here. That should look familiar. Get your fingers situated, and we're going to do that, and then we'll go into the next 2, which is D to F, D to high G, and D to high A. Take it nice and slow. Here we go. Ready, and 1, 2. Now, if you made any crossing sounds in there, you want to go ahead and try it again, either on your own slower or concentrate on not making those. All right, that would be something that would be good to play back and repeat along with the recording if possible, at least a few times a day. The last thing we went over today was the high A doubling scale. And I wrote it out in pen at the bottom of your page, as you may remember, a little bit squished. It's on the right side of that bottom line, okay? And we're going to start this scale from low A. But before we do it, I want to remind you of what a high A doubling is. So high A doubling is where we go to high A, which is this note, and then we slide this thumb across that hole. When we slide our thumb across that hole, we're making a temporary high G, and then we're going back to high A, which is exactly what's written in the music if you look at the little doubling that I write on the line. So here's how this is going to sound. I'll just do the first one to remind you, and you can see the motion here. You may remember that sliding of the thumb, okay? So let's get ready. We're going to do the scale from low A, going up to high G, in between each melody note, right? Like after high A, we'll play a high A doubling. And we'll go to B, and we'll play a high A doubling, just like it's written on the page. Okay, here we go. Ready? Nice and slow. 1 and 2 and. Okay, you may have heard that I didn't really do a clean strike on that thumb hole there from D. So that was a mistake on my part. Let's do that thing again. Same thing, high A doubling scale, nice and slow. Ready? And 1 and 2 and. Okay, the last thing I want to remind you of is that you are definitely allowed to, encouraged to, try to speed up certain things once they become comfortable. For example, you could challenge yourself on that D to E transition, right? And you could do something where you start really slowly, D, E, several of them in a row slowly, and then speed it up a little bit. Maybe something like this. Okay, that's just to give you an idea. Play around with it, have fun.